Today we're doing another pick a card reading for you guys, and this one is all about what that person thinks of you, what the person really thinks. It could be someone that you're thinking about, someone that you have a crush on, someone that you have feelings for. Basically, this is all about what they feel for you. And there's kind of some construction going on, and I did kind of wait a little while for it to die down, but it did not. And since I already had this set up, I thought, why not go for it? So I apologize for all that sound that's coming in. So for this reading of like what your person thinks of you, we have 3 groups of cards, and what I want you to do is I want you to take a deep breath, focus on that person, focus on the question you're asking here, and that is, what does this person think of you? And then close your eyes, just think about it, focus for a while, and then when you open your eyes, you pick the card that draws you to it the most. And once you're done picking your card, I'll be linking the timestamps down in the description box and in the comment box. So you just head down there and click on the file that you have chosen, and that'll take you to your reading. So I'm just going to leave it here for a while, and if you want to take more time, you can just pause the video, take as much time as you need to ground yourself, focus on the question, focus on everything, and then we shall proceed. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the reading for the people who chose group 1, so I'm just going to put these aside. And let's see what we have in store for you today. So we have the 2 of Swords in reverse, we have the 9 of Swords, we have the 7 of Cups, we have the Knight of Pentacles, we have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, and then we have the Emperor in reverse. So we're going to start off with the 2 of Swords in reverse, and this kind of tells me that this person that you're thinking about has the guard drawn up when it comes to you, that they feel really closed off, and especially when it comes to you and matters related to you, I feel like they're very closed off and they're very cut off from you, and it's kind of like they have their walls up, and that is basically like kind of how they're acting right now. Maybe they might have been, I think, avoiding you in some way, or trying to like ignore you, or if like you guys have been trying to hang out, they'll be kind of not that enthusiastic about it, because I think this symbolizes that they have some sort of disharmony in their mind, so they kind of feel the need to protect themselves, which is why they kind of have the swords drawn up, and they've just closed themselves off a bit. Because I think the reason that they've closed themselves off is this 9 of Swords that we have here, because they're definitely thinking about you, and they're feeling some kind of confusion. I think the way that they see you is something that's bothering them. Maybe they're a bit confused about what exactly they want to see you as. Maybe they think of you as a friend, but they're beginning to look at you a different way, or maybe it's vice versa. That I think there's like a lot of confusion here, and it's kind of keeping them up, because I definitely think they're thinking about you, because only someone who would think about something so much would feel the need to protect themselves from the situation. So I think they're definitely like thinking a lot about you, and it's kind of becoming a bit of a nightmare really, and they don't really know how to deal with it, so it's kind of making them feel a bit sleepless. Maybe it's giving them some kind of dreams that are confusing them even more. So I feel like they're thinking a lot, like kind of like the overthinking aspect of it. So I think like you're definitely on their mind, and I think deep down what they actually kind of feel is, I think they see you as someone who has like a lot of gifts, and someone who has a lot to offer to not only them but also like the world in general. I think they see you as someone who's very gifted and powerful, and in your own way, but that's what's confusing them, in that they don't know the way they see you as. I also kind of think of this as options, like there's friendship, and there's a relationship, and there's like all these different things that people can be to each other, and I think they're kind of confused about that, because there's like a lot of, I think as people, you guys are you do connect on some level, and that's why like there's so many options of what you can be. and that's what's kind of making them think so much about it, because I feel like they think you can be good as friends, but you can even be good in a relationship, and that's why they're kind of I feel like they're taking their time to like think about it a little, and that's why, because they're still not done thinking about it, they kind of have their guard up. They kind of have, they've closed themselves off. But you know, even though they have kind of all of this thinking, and I feel like it's a lot of thinking with all these cards here, they kind of act like they're very laid back. They act like they don't care perhaps, and they act like, oh, nothing's really bothering me, and I'm doing perfectly fine. And if they've ignored you, it's more like, oh yeah, I mean, I just have to go and chill. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to do that. So if they've been avoiding you that way, they're kind of like trying to put it off as them being cool and laid back and slow and chilled. But I think that's actually trying to cover up their, like they don't want to overtly seem like they're avoiding you or anything, because I feel like they want to kind of conceal this like anxiety probably that they're feeling, this worry, this not knowing how to deal with things that they're facing. And I think a lot of that is because of their focusing their energy or something else. Maybe it could be their work, or their ambition or their goals or whatever. But I think they're looking at this kind of work and ambition and everything because they want to seem laid back. Like if they're avoiding you, they kind of want to seem like they're doing so because of work, like, oh, I have some work to do. But they're doing it in a very laid back manner, like, yeah, don't worry about it, I have work to do, but we'll catch up later, or this or that. But but they actually go back home and they're like, oh my god, what the hell is happening here? So I feel like there's definitely like all of that confusion here, and I think even in like the near future they won't really be able to make a well-informed decision, like not a well-informed decision but more like a proper decision where they have weighed the pros and cons of every option. So I think they're still going to be in this state of confusion, like at least for the next few weeks, because I feel like this is something that's really making them think, because they're very confused, and that's why we have the Emperor in reverse here, because the Emperor in reverse is all about that sort of that confusion, that lack of decision making, lack of authority with yourself, lack of control. So I think it's kind of gonna go out of control in a while, and they really need to like sort of pull themselves together, but they're not going to be able to do that. But because of this card, I feel like they're definitely thinking about you, and this is leading them to like overthink that aspect. So I think this person has you on their mind, and they definitely see you in some way that is like something that they're not showing you. I think that they're really kind of hiding the way they feel about you, because we also have this card, and it kind of makes me feel like they have their guard up and they're closed off to you. So I feel like there's definitely more to the story that they're not telling you. And if you're someone who kind of wants an answer from them like very quickly or something, I don't think you're gonna get it, because they're really taking their time with this. And it's not like they're taking their time voluntarily, they just don't know how to go about it. They feel very out of control with themselves. They feel very very lost, I'm feeling, because of all of this kind of sleepless, nightmarish, anxiety filled time, and then them trying to focus their energy on something else. So they're kind of trying to avoid the problem as well, but it's not really it's not really what do you call it, it's not leaving their back. And like even in the coming time, they're really gonna need to like take this Emperor and turn it around, but they're not gonna be able to do that, because I think everything kind of has to peak. So I feel like this has kind of been increasing for a certain amount of time, and until they reach that peak, it's going to keep going up. And then after they reach that peak, it's going to be like some sort of epiphany where they'll be like, oh my god, I think now I figured things out. But that's not going to happen for a while. And what I want to do is I want to take these this little personal oracle deck that I kind of made and see what comes up, and see if we can get any more insight on this about what they're feeling and everything. So this is a deck that I made for my own personal use, because I didn't really want to buy another deck just like immediately, because I also bought another deck recently. So I made this deck for my use, and let's see what they think. So this came out later, but these flew out. So we have listen closely and we have soulmate. I think that's interesting. So I think listen closely is it's kind of like turning their attention inward, like because they're trying to figure out so much, they're trying to like really figure something out. They're really trying to what do you call it, sort things out in their own head about what they feel about the situation. So they're trying to like really reach in there. And this is the card. I'm not the best at doodling, but you know I did whatever I could with them. So they're definitely trying to like figure out what's going on in this situation. And I think because they're trying so hard to find an answer, it's kind of like going further away from them, because they're not looking for it in a way that's filled with like what do you call it, a lot of, it's not the most positive way to go seeking for answers. It's a very like haphazard way, and you know, it's causing them like a lot of anxiety here. And then we have soulmate. So I don't think this particularly means that you guys are soulmates. It might, but what I'm feeling here is that they're contemplating whether you might be their soulmate, because we have like all these options here. And I don't know why, but as soon as I saw this thread, it made me think of this like kind of red thing here, red outline. So I think one of the options that they see you as is they're kind of wondering if you're, you know, kind of connected to them in that way. So they're really thinking about it here. It's one of the things that's been on their mind, like, is this person my soulmate, or am I connected? Because like I said, there is connection between you guys. Like when you guys have good times, it like you guys connect very well, and that's why they're kind of contemplating this, like, is this person my soulmate? Am I supposed to be with them? What am I supposed to do here? And I think I'll also want to take kind of these chakra colors and chakra beads, chakra stones things, and see what comes up. So let's just give them a little. Interesting. So we have the red chakra, which is the root chakra, and it's all about like physical appearance and this and that. So I think this kind of like talks about how they're kind of focusing their energy on something that's very physical in the world. So even though this chakra isn't about like, oh, material wealth, but it's something that's very rooted in our physical reality. So I think they're definitely trying to focus their energy on like more outward things that they can actually like control and, you know, do things about. But what they actually need to do is not avoid all of this, because avoidance is what is leading to all this problem. So I think they're really gonna figure that out in some time, but it's gonna take a while. I think it's something that's gonna require like a lot of acceptance even within themselves to, you know, get an answer out of all of this problem that they're facing. So that is what I have for you. I hope that helped you. If you liked the video, please leave a like and comment down below what resonated with you and what you think of this reading, because I'd love to hear what you have to say, like what connected with you and everything. So, and if you haven't subscribed already, be sure to subscribe, because we're going to be doing a lot more readings on this channel and a lot of other fun stuff too. So I'll see you later then. So for those of you who picked group 2, also the noise stopped, but I hope it doesn't come back. But yeah, this is your reading, and let's see what cards we have in store for you. So we have the Page of Swords, we have the Two of Cups, we have Temperance in reverse, we have the Nine of Cups, we have the Six of Swords, and then we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So right off the bat, what I'm feeling is that this person is giving you a lot of conflicting energies. I feel like this person is like, you're very unsure of what they're kind of like trying to tell you. Oh no, the nurse is back. But yeah, I think they're really sort of giving you mixed signals, because maybe they're talking about something happening, but you know, nothing's happening. Maybe you guys are like, hey, you know what, it'll be cool to like get together, and maybe you should hang out sometime, but then it never really comes to fruition. So I feel like this person is giving you like a lot of mixed signals, but I think there's a reason for that, and I think we're gonna come to that in a while. So we have this Two of Cups here. So I think this person definitely sees you as like someone, like a potential partner, like a very healing relationship, and a very like a very give and take, a sharing relationship that is very like both people and both parties have a lot to learn from each other, and they grow with each other, and they have like I think they really see you as someone who can be like a very long term relationship, because there's a lot of good energy here, and there's a lot of energy of, you know, like being very equal in the relationship as well. So I think there's like a lot of respect here. And if you guys were to be in a relationship, I think like this person believes that it would be like a very good relationship, like a relationship filled with harmony and concord. And yeah, I'm just kind of saying the keywords here, but like I really think that this energy to this person, this relationship, or this potential relationship to this person, has a very healing energy, and they really think that there is potential for you guys to come together in the future. And I think that's why they're kind of giving you conflicting energies, because I think they really believe that you guys will work well together, but they're not really going about it because I think they want to take their time, because I think any kind of long-term relationship needs to kind of go slow. I mean, obviously that is not the case for everybody, but I think this person definitely is someone who thinks that. This person is a person who believes that for something to last, it needs to like take its own time. So I feel like that's why they're kind of taking it slow with this relationship and where it's going. And then we also have temperance in reverse here. So I'm kind of getting the feeling that one person in this connection, and I think that's you, wants it to go faster than it is. I mean, I think that's evident because they're kind of giving you mixed signals, and the mixed signals itself suggests that you are kind of unhappy with the way things are. And I think you definitely want things to go faster, you want things to happen in this relationship, and you kind of feel like it's going nowhere. But I think this person definitely sees you in that way, that this can go somewhere, because I think that they kind of have this kind of long-term idea where things will work out eventually. And I think they have like a very set idea within themselves of how they want their life to work out, because I think this is a very independent person. And they, ever since they were a child, I'm getting the feeling that they were the type of people who had their life planned out. They knew what they had to like work as, or they knew what they wanted, like a family, like when they wanted a family life, or if they wanted a family life. And it doesn't have to be like more career oriented, but just they know who they are and they know what they stand for. And I think that's why they're kind of taking things like the way that they have pictured things to be. So I think that is what is kind of, I think it's frustrating you a little. Like you think that things are off balance and things are not really working out, but in fact this person definitely thinks that they will. And what exactly is frustrating you is, I feel that the fact that this person, despite giving you these mixed signals, is someone who is very intent. And I think that is what is contributing to the mixed signals, because they feel like they talk like they want to get to know you, and they want to hang out, and they want to know more of you, they want to get into a relationship. But while not bringing those actions to fruition, they still act like everything's perfectly fine. So I feel like this person is very stable that way, that they don't really get rushed into things. They're not very haphazard, but that's what's causing you this frustration, because you're like, oh, why are they acting like everything's perfect? And then they're coming and telling me that, oh, they wanna hang out, and they wanna maybe get a coffee, and they're not doing anything about it, and they're acting like nothing's happened. So I think you're kind of like catching my drift, and that's like they basically are a very stable person, and they're very like, hi, let's just go like a steady stream, like a little river. And I think that with all this like cups energy, and even this kind of symbolizing a journey by water, they really are kind of like a slow, steady river that you go and like, it's kind of reminding me like a lazy river in an amusement park. So I think they definitely like are taking things slow, and also with the cups being like the second slowest of all the four suits, so they're taking things in their own time. They're not particularly like stopping or like going painfully slow, but they're not going as fast as you want them to be, because I think you're someone who wants like quicker results, and like, let's get things moving, let's do things together, and I want to be with you and all that energy. So I feel like the reason that this person is so content is because they've already had a lot of experiences in their life. I think this person might even be someone who is a bit older than you, and I think this person is quite mature also, because I feel like this person has had like a lot of experiences in their life that have taught them a lot along the way, and that's why even though they had that set idea of how things were supposed to be, maybe things didn't turn out that way, because obviously not everyone's life is the way they want. But this person took it very in their stride and took them as learning experiences and took it as a journey, and they finally come to a point where they're very comfortable with how things are, and that's why they feel the need to like not rush into anything, or they just feel very let's just take things as they are going. Let's not um, make things happen out of just a whim and a fancy. So I feel like you definitely give me like the younger energy in this connection here, and this person has that kind of the older energy. And also with this Queen of Pentacles, I think in the coming time, I think this person is going to be making decisions. I feel at least in the next couple of weeks, I think you're gonna get more of like this Nine of Cups energy with them just being content with life. But I think there's also gonna be like some kind of decision making process here. I think while nourishing themselves, they're also gonna be giving that nourishing energy to you as well. So they're gonna be very independent, but also like I'm getting very fun to be around, but that's not exactly what I'm looking for. But I think this person is definitely very fun to be around, so there will be some progress in that area. But I think they're still going to be very steadfast in their values, and I don't think anything's going to kind of throw them off their balance, or be like, hey, if something pressures them, they won't really feel that kind of pressure. So I don't think like if you're kind of trying to make them get the hint or like pressure them into making a decision, I don't think that's going to work, because I think they're going to be very set in their ideas and what they want to do. But because they kind of feel this way about you, I think something will definitely happen, because with this person being very independent also comes their maturity and their independence. I think it all kind of comes down to how they want to also protect other people. Like, they don't want to depend on other people, but they don't particularly mind when other people depend on them. So I feel like this kind of protective energy is also going to be coming towards you. Like, they're going to be giving you this protective energy that they have, and they're going to want to like kind of protect you and be there for you and all of this. So I think that in the coming weeks, in the like next couple of weeks, next 1 month or something, I think they're definitely going to kind of make an advance in that they get closer to you, and they kind of show you that you mean a lot to them. But in like the relationship aspect of it, I think that's going to take a little more time. So I think also it comes down to you and like what you want, and because obviously open communication is the thing here. So there needs to be communication, and despite the fact that they've lived so many experiences, you also have your own, and that's why it's best to like communicate them, and so you can also be part of their journey. And because again, like, we have this kind of learning from each other thing. So I think there is going to be communication, where you're going to be communicating your emotions and what you want, and while that won't frazzle them or anything, it will make them say like, oh, okay, this person wants this thing, so maybe we can work towards that, and maybe we can figure out how this works for the both of us. And there is definitely feelings for you here. I think they definitely see this as like as a relationship that has potential to be like a beautiful relationship, a relationship where both of you can grow with each other. So it's not like they're like set in their ways to the point of not receiving things, because they see themselves as also learning from you. So they see themselves as gaining something from you as well. So it's definitely not that they're very fixed in their ways and they're like completely closed off. It's not like that. So they definitely have the feelings for you, and they feel they're gonna come to a point where they feel very protective of you as well. So I'm also gonna take these cards of this little oracle deck that I made, because I wanted like a more romance oriented oracle deck, and I didn't really want to buy another just as soon as I had bought a different oracle deck. So just wanted to save money and also have fun with it. It's something that I could count on with my intuition and everything. So let's see what comes out here. So let's see what we can see. Oop. So these two cards fell out, and the first card that fell out was Hush, and then we have Deserving of Effort. So with Hush, I have a feeling that again, this is kind of giving me the vibe that they're like not really telling you how it is. Not on the fact that they're hiding anything from you, but it's kind of like they're just not talking about it as much. Like, even though they're saying things like, oh, let's hang out and everything, they're not discussing like, you know what, let's sit down and have a conversation, I have feelings for you. So it's not like that. I feel like it's a very kind of, I shouldn't particularly say hush hush, because it's not like they're trying to keep it a secret, but they're definitely not being very open with it either. And we also have Deserving of Effort here. So I think they believe that this is something that is very deserving of effort. Like I said, they see the potential in this relationship, and I think this is even a message for you. So like, if you kind of feel like thinking that this this isn't worth it, it's taking too long, and you feel this frustration beginning to grow, I think it's also like a call for you to rethink and think about like how this relationship might actually pan out to be something good, and maybe even have that conversation with them, because this is something that I think can really pan out and be something that's very beautiful. So I think this is definitely deserving of effort, like this card says. And I also want to pick out these chakra beads / stones / thingies that I don't know what to call, but we use them for the chakras. So let's see what we can get from them. Ooh, so we have the crown chakra, and this is beyond the human body kind of thing. So I feel like this is really reminding me of that maturity. So this person is a very mature person. You guys have this potential of a very long-term relationship. So I feel this is definitely a very mature connection, like even between you, like just like even though you're feeling this like frustration, it's not because of what do you call it, like a lack of maturity or anything, because it's just not how you were wired. So I think both of you are very mature individuals, and though I definitely get the vibe that this person is older than you, might be younger than you, because this is a general reading, so you can take what resonates and what doesn't. But I think this is a relationship that is kind of like has a lot of potential, and has that potential to be a very mature relationship. Like a relationship where, like I said in the beginning, like both of you are equals and you have like a lot of learning and sharing and growing. So and I also feel like this is all about being open and being open to new learning, and that is something that I really think that this person is very open to learning, and that is basically what I'm getting for you here. So if that crown chakra resonates with you, I think I don't know, like I feel like there's something on the tip of my tongue, but I can't really say it. So I think it's something that you have to decide for yourself also. Like I said, have that conversation with them, and just get things out in the open. So I think there needs to be some sort of openness in this relationship as well. So you don't really need to succumb to the way that they're kind of going about their life, because obviously you have like a life of your own and everything. So that is pretty much all I have for you then. And if you like this video, give it a like and comment down below what resonates with you, and what you feel about this reading. And also comment down below what this crown chakra is actually saying to you, because I feel like this is something that you have to decipher for yourself as well. So yeah, and if you haven't subscribed already, be sure to subscribe to my channel, because we're going to be doing a lot more readings and a lot of fun stuff. So stick around for that, and I shall see you in my next video. Hello to those of you who chose card pile 3. This is your reading, and let's see what we have in store for you and what this person thinks of you. So we have Knight of Wands in reverse. I see another knight coming up. So we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. We have the Ten of Cups. We have the Empress in reverse. we have the moon, and we have the Hierophant. Wow, okay, this is an interesting reading. So, what I'm getting when I look at this is that I think this is kind of like a friends with benefits situation, because the Knight of Wands is all about kind of passion and quick passion, more like. So I think this is kind of could have been like maybe a one night stand that is kind of still in your life as maybe like a friend, or maybe a friends with benefits situation. I think I'm definitely seeing like a more physical aspect to this relationship, and like at least like the way that they show you that they think about you. So I think this person definitely is trying to portray that you were nothing more than like this kind of friends with benefit situation. It's kind of specific, but it is a general reading, so you can take what resonates and leave the rest. But sometimes specific messages can also be channeled. So I think what is really specific is that I think this is a friends with benefits situation that might have been going on for a little while, and one person in this connection wants more out of it. Like they really think that this is something that can work, and something that they want more out of. They just don't want it to end at just this friends with benefits situation, this one night stand, or whatever situation that we have here. So I think they definitely want more from this, and I think that person might be you, considering that this is how they show you that they feel about you. And I think this person, when you try to talk to them about this kind of this potential for like a fuller relationship, I think they kind of get very frustrated and like, hey, why don't you just let that idea go, or why are you thinking so much about this? So that's what I'm getting here. And but I think that with the king, with the Knight of Cups here, I think they're definitely pondering on some kind of like relationship with you, some kind of potential with you, because I feel like since you might have talked to them about it, since you might have voiced your opinion and expressed what you think about what this relationship could be, I think that the idea is kind of like in their mind. It's something that they're thinking about, but they don't really want to show you what they're thinking about because they're not really sure yet. But I think like in their subconscious mind, something that they don't really address is we have this Ten of Cups here, and I think this person really feels like there is like a lot of potential here. And the Ten of Cups is all about that family, all of that harmony and everything in the family life. So I think this person might also kind of view you as someone that they can even potentially start a family with. But because they're not sure, or maybe because they don't want to address it, they're feeling this kind of frustration here. They're not really like knowing how to go about it. They're kind of, maybe it's something that's kind of irritating them or angering them, because they have these feelings that they're not being able to address, but they're still pondering on it and just thinking about it. But because they're kind of so unsure about like the outcome of the situation, it's kind of giving into frustration. Because we also have the Moon card here, and I think that this is more like if you look at the Moon's face, it's kind of that frustrated face, that kind of deep in thought, but it's not a positive thought. So because I'm getting friends with benefits, because I think you guys were like very good friends before this happened, before the situation came out. And I think they feel like even though they have this kind of idea that you might work well in a relationship together, and they're thinking about it, I feel like they don't want to lose you as a friend. That's why they're like they're getting so frustrated, because they really don't want to like ruin this kind of friendship that you already have. But they feel like coming into the situation in the first place kind of like messed things up, and thinking about it is kind of going against the idea of like how you might work as friends. And that's making them even more frustrated, because they fear losing you in some way, because they feel like relationships might come to an end much sooner than friendships do, and friendships maybe don't even end ever. So you know if I get into a relationship with this person and that relationship's end, I'll lose them not only as like as a partner, but also as a friend. And I think they really don't want to lose you in their life, because you mean a lot to them, I feel. That's what I'm getting here. That's like the major thing is kind of this fear is controlling the way that they're thinking about these situations as well. So this fear is governing the way the thought process moves out when they think about this relationship coming to fruition. And I think they're thinking more deeply about the loss than the potential goodness we see in this Ten of Cups here, and this family and this happiness and this harmony. So like the Ten of Cups can also kind of signify like when it's reversed, more likely that also focus on the happiness that you already have. So I think what the moon is doing is that because of this fear, they kind of think like, hey, no, don't think about it too much, because think about what you already have with this person and that you're already friends, and don't go chasing this relationship idea, because what if you lose them as a friend? And this fear is really, 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 like, because also it's a major arcana card, and I really feel that it's kind of changing the flow of things, like really the way they think about situations. And we have like three majors here. We have the Empress in reverse, and we also have the Hierophant in reverse. So in the next couple of weeks, or like I'm hearing a couple of months, I feel like all this thought they'll be giving to the situation, I feel like it's gonna come to a point where the moon is gonna stop this fear, and this loss is gonna stop being such a hindrance to the way that they're thinking about it. Like they're really not they're gonna try and get this fear away and think about it more in terms of like all the goodness that can be here. So they're gonna like do away with the fear. And like I said in the beginning, how I feel that you in this connection might want more than like just this friends with benefit situation kind of thing here. So I feel like in the coming future, this Hierophant in reverse is telling me that they're going to stop letting the moon rule them and come to a point where they also are on the same page as you. So I think there is like definitely potential of them coming to their senses and thinking that, oh, you know what, this is a good thing, this can actually happen, and I can view this person as an equal, as someone that I want to be in a relationship. And I'm really getting equal as in like equal feelings and on the same page. So maybe right now you're the only person who wants a relationship, and even though this person kind of deep down wants it as well, they don't know how to address it because this fear is governing them. So in the next couple of months, I feel like they're really gonna do away with that fear and focus more on like the positive energy and everything. But what I'm getting is that they're also someone who's kind of going around life and thinking that, you know what, I need to focus on myself. Like I think that's their major thing. Like when you try to bring up this relationship and conversation, their thing is like, no, I don't have time for a relationship right now. I'm focusing more on me and my skills, and the way I look at myself, and acceptance and self-love and all of that. So I think they're definitely try to brush off the situation by saying that they're focusing on their own development and growth, and that they don't have time for a relationship. But the reason that they're doing that is this fear. So this fear is the main governing card in this entire reading. And I also feel like the colors are very contrasting. Like we have like a lot of warm colors here, and then we have the sharp blue kind of card, and it's really just overpowering every other kind of warm shade here. And I feel that has to say a lot about how this is the one card that is making things go out of, it's the wrong piece in a puzzle basically. So it doesn't fit here, and that's why all of this is kind of the frustration is coming up, and they're still just thinking about it. They're not really doing anything about it, and they're trying to brush you off by saying that this is the time where they're focusing on themselves. So I feel like there's definitely like the potential here, but it's something that they have to come into terms with. And to that, they need to get rid of this fear. And because there's definitely like a lot of positive feelings towards you, I think they definitely see you in like a positive way, as a friend and everything. And I also kind of want to draw like these oracle cards here, which I made by hand, because I didn't really want to purchase another deck just like soon after I purchased like the one that I just bought, that I'm not really including in this reading here. But anyway, so I wanted like a more romance oriented deck, and that's why I made this one. So let's see what else we can get to know from these cards here. So we have two cards coming out here. We have it wasn't meant to be an offer. So right off the bat, when I look at this card, I feel like you see how, like, I'm not the best at doodling, but when I was making this card, the first thing that I kind of wanted in this card was that there are these two people that are kind of separated, but deep down they feel kind of connected. So I think, like I said, they're kind of telling you that, it isn't something that's gonna happen. They're trying to like brush it off, and be like, hey, why are you even bringing this up? This is not supposed to happen between us. So I think that that's definitely the energy that they're portraying right now. But deep down, they feel connected to you. They feel like a lot of like they connect to you very well, and they want something to happen. So I feel this is like the way they're walking their talk, like it wasn't meant to be. But I think in the future, when they get rid of this fear, and like when they get rid of this fear and come to the point where they kind of are on the same page as you, I feel like they are going to be making you an offer of something that you have been offering to them in this phase, and they're trying to like brush it off by saying no, it isn't meant to be. But they themselves are going to come around and make you an offer themselves. And I think within that time, I kind of also have the feeling that you're going to be restoring your faith in not only yourself but also this relationship. I feel like this time leading up to the time when this person makes you an offer, I feel like something is gonna happen that's gonna make you feel like this is literally like the best thing that's ever gonna happen. I think you're gonna, like, even if you perhaps want to move on because this person is giving you this kind of like, no, it's not meant to happen, I feel like things will keep happening to kind of show you that this relationship can actually work out. And it's just that the person needs to be on the same page as you for them to make you an offer. And I think in the next couple of months they will, and potentially you have an offer that might be coming your way. And I also kind of want to look at these chakra stones / beads, and let's see what comes up. Whoa, okay, we had 3 fall out. That is interesting, but the first card that came out was this one, the root chakra, and then we had the third eye, and then we had the crown. More than anything, the very fact that 3 of these came out when I was just hoping for one of them, and the way that they came out in succession of how the chakra actually goes from bottom to top. Obviously we don't have the other 4 in the middle, but we have these 3 that came out in that thing. So I really feel like this is going to be like a stepwise process for them to learn about how it's going to happen. So I feel like this represents the way they're kind of behaving right now, and they're kind of being very showing you a more how do I say it? It's like the way that what they're showing you right now, what they're saying they feel, it's very physical. Not in the way that you guys already have like a friends with benefits scenario, but more like they're trying to show you very hard. They're making an effort to really show you that this isn't gonna happen, and this this isn't meant to happen. But over time, I feel like with these steps, so they're really gonna kind of think about it with this since the third eye chakra is in the center of the forehead, I think they're going to be doing like a lot of thinking about it. And I think that also kind of stands for the Knight of Cups here, of how they're just taking their time to think it out, and about what's going to happen in this scenario. And then we have the crown. So I think, like I said, how there really is potential in here to be something really great. So I feel like this potential will it's gonna take a while to come, like I said, in a couple of months perhaps, but it is gonna be there, and the person is just going through the steps of getting there, and that is perfectly normal for this person to want to take things slow and take baby steps into coming to a decision. And this decision, I think, will be this offer here. So that is it for your reading, and I hope that resonated with you. And if you like the video, give it a like and comment down below what resonated with you and what stood out to you the most, because I'd love to know what you have to think. Tell me about your situation, tell me everything. I would love to hear. And if you haven't subscribed already, be sure to subscribe, because we're going to be doing a lot more readings and a lot more fun stuff, and I hope you stick around for that. So I shall see you later. Bye.